All right, there you go. Chiefs beat the Bills 32-29. I think the announcer was saying the three cheap. I don't think he realized what he was saying. So the Chiefs get to go and get their three Super Bowl wins. I don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to beat them. Their offensive line looks a little beat up, but I'm hoping some of those guys get healthy because I am totally rooting for the Chiefs to lose. Not because I don't like the Chiefs fans. They went a long time without any love, and they're having the success they waited a long time for. So for them, congratulations. The players, for the most part, I don't got an issue with. I am tired of the referees. I don't think it was so terrible. I thought that shared catch, the ground kind of aided it, but I can kind of give it to the Chiefs. But there was that Kincaid catch where he leapt and his knee never touched the ground. It was a first down. Then he moved it back, and that led to the tush-push failure. And then the 4th and 1 tush-push failure where the ref who's seeing the ball marks it a yard over the first down marker. And then the guy behind him who can't see anything, just the back marks it behind, and they didn't give him the first down. It was a first down. If I'm a Bills fan, I'd be very, very unhappy. But I wouldn't say that the Chiefs won because of that. Because the Bills, I thought, played very well in spots. But I thought that the offensive line that would carry them really it didn't do its job this game. And I thought Brady, who's been phenomenal for you, and I'm glad for you guys, he's coming back. He's a good offensive coordinator for you. I thought he opened up soft, a little Dorsey-esque and Dable-esque, and he got a little too cutesy. Didn't feed Cook the ball enough in the first half. Obviously, I really did feel bad for Benford. He looked wiped. To have the concussion, be out of protocol, and then get another shot from your own player, that was a devastating thing for the kid. I felt so bad watching him get taken back, being held up. He's going to be hurting, and that really did bother me because people are beyond the game of football. But missing Benford and Rapp, it played out, and I think that was out of your guys' control. And Elam was like a special delivery express zone for Mahomes. He really had a terrible, terrible game. And you guys do lack some depth there. And I didn't like Damar Hamlin, how he played. He kind of played pretty poor. But the secondary being soft, not all your guys' fault. The offensive line underperforming. And I think coaching-wise, you were out-coached by two of the best coaches in the league, Reed and Spagnuolo are two of the best. And Andy Reid did something I didn't realize. He moved Joe Thuney from guard to tackle because they've been struggling with tackle all year. And it really paid out for them. But they had a very good game plan through the whole game. They came out strong with the run game. They got the quick touchdown with balance, and they never got off it. They ended up with 32 rushes, 165, and you guys had like 26 for 140 something. But I thought that should have been flipped, and I think that was a failing for you guys. I thought it was also a failing a little bit for McDermott, allowing Mahomes to get those booted runs too many times. One, okay, but there was way too many. I thought McDermott got a little tight. I didn't like him going for the 2-point conversions twice, and I definitely didn't like the continual going for the tush push. You could see early on that it wasn't working, and I thought that it was becoming very obstinate and sort of a bad coaching. And Spagnuolo did an amazing job blitzing inside, attacking inside to great effect, but he didn't blitz a lot, and I'm going to get into that because for me, you can blame the refs for that, this or that. And if I was a Dolphin fan and that happened to me, I would say that too. I think it played a part, but again, this offensive line of the Bills needs an upgrade this offseason. I thought Brown played well. I thought Dawkins played well. Torrance, he was okay in the pass, but not so good in the run. McGovern, you got to replace your center. He played poor. Edwards wasn't able to move anybody. There was a lot of softness inside. And Chiefs aren't noted for having a great interior, but they played well. Jones is inside, and he's a monster. So I got to mitigate that a little bit. But when you look at the protection, I thought Allen played great. He had some early goings where he was sloppy, a little bit nervous, but he played better than Mahomes, and his framework wasn't as good, and I'll get to that in a second. If you check the blitz and pressure rates, that's a really good way to look at how your offensive line's doing, how your protection's doing. And the Bills played a little bit more conservative. They really tried to protect Allen, but they couldn't. He had some time in the pocket, but a few too many sacks, a little too much pressure. That one pass to Mac Hollins was unbelievable. The Shakir pass on like a 3rd and 12 was unbelievable. But he couldn't get going in the run game. And he had the one big run, but there was a lot of slowdown, especially in that tush push. I thought you relied too much on the tush push, but I kind of mentioned that. But when you look at Allen, his framework was his time to throw was 71% clean time to throw of 2.21 seconds. But you look at Mahomes, it was 2.40. So he had just a little bit more time. The protection was there. Allen was blitzed 19 and Mahomes blitzed 18. And I know that some of the blitz, I'm sure McDermott wanted to blitz more, but without Benford in there and Rapp, you kind of got held because Elam, he was terrible. He's got to get off that guy. But the pressure rate was 19% blitz and 29% pressure. It's a 10% increase in leverage towards the defense. That's bad. When you look at the Chiefs, it was 18 and 20% pressure, 2%, which is a good day, but not when you're going against 10%. And I think this is another reason why Brady should have ran more early, should have been more balanced. It didn't feel like one of his best game plans. He looked a little desperate and a little confused at times. But when you add the pass rush mitigation, blitzes and screens tied in, you had 53% compared to 42% for Mahomes. And so you guys played a little bit more conservative. You weren't blitzed all that much, but you gave up a pretty decent amount of pressure. And that means they were able to put guys in the secondary. And you could see Allen because guys are being constricted because of the play action, less guys in routes, and the time just wasn't there. And I think ultimately the offensive line, if you just stuck with that run game, that opening drive would have been huge to get some points, to get some momentum. And then it was that second quarter where they put the 2 touchdowns. They got 14 points in that second quarter. That really, really hurts you. I think that McDermott settled down in the second half and defense played really, really well. But it was just too much. And again, those boots, I don't know how you didn't. I understand why, because you're trying to control so many different things and they can attack so many ways. But I think it was a little bit of a drop ball by your coaching staff. Not totally. And I think the refs did add a little bit. I thought Allen played really well. I know that 4th down and 1 had to kill you. But you're in their house. You know they're going to get a little calls. It wasn't totally terrible. I didn't like McDermott putting the challenge, wasting the time out on it. It wasn't a killer. I thought there was a lot of sloppy penalties by the Bills. Chiefs had a few too, and some that weren't called. I guess you guys did too, but you guys were a little too sloppy early on, and you dug yourself out of that hole, but it just wasn't enough. And I thought if that 4th down had been given to you, it might have been a different story because you probably would have got 3, and this could have been a different game. And I know Dolphin fans want to say, yeah, but understand, if the Bills are getting screwed, then your team, the Finns or whoever team you like, might get screwed. And even the Chiefs, at some point, they might not get all the calls. Patriots lost it. And so we all should just be unhappy if we view these things as poor calls. And they were. And even some of the people and the announcers were saying that. So, Bills fans, I think you should be very proud of this season. It was supposed to be a down season. Again, my Dolphin fans, I love them, but they're so focused on other teams' failures, and I did that for a long time too. I want my own team to succeed. And if my Dolphins could have a rebuilding, supposedly down season and go to the conference championship and play a team like the Kansas City Chiefs this close and really have that thing in my bag where I said, well, I think the refs kind of screwed me a little bit, I consider it a great season. And so I'm definitely hoping for the Chiefs to lose. I think the fans deserve the success because they waited a long, long time where they went to Super Bowl III and then nothing. You know, a lot of close but no cigars. So the fans, the Chiefs fans deserve it. Andy Reid is great. Spagnuolo's great. Mahomes is great. So many good players on the team. It's a darn good team. I just wish they didn't get the ref thing. I mean, even the Burrow pass to Gesicki, the touchdown that a week later said it was, and they gave him the win. All that kind of stuff just makes it a little sour for me. I don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to beat the Chiefs. They're going to need that center, Dickinson. Lane Dickinson. And then the other backup's injured, so I don't know if they could beat the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs to win. I hate the fact that my 70s Dolphins, the peak of what I got, they're going to be gone. That record's going to be gone if they get that three-peat. You know, they're going to be in a second tier, and I hate that. So I'm definitely rooting against the Chiefs. If there are any Chief fans here, I don't really have too many Chief fans. But I'm definitely rooting against you. But I'd be proud. I'd be so happy. I wish my team was doing that. Bills fans, though, you got to get a little tighter in this coaching staff. You got picks this year. Bean does a great job. You got money. I think offensive line is something you're going to need to boost. Defense, defensive tackle, DB is another thing you got to boost. Milano coming back, he played really, really well, but I don't know how much longer you can trust him. But this was a great season for Bills fans. I know it probably doesn't feel great. I know my man Tommy Mafia Sports Report is very sad and unhappy, and I don't like that. I would be rooting against them in the Super Bowl, like I said. But this was a great season for the Bills and a greater season for the Chiefs. I think both fan bases should be happy. And my Dolphin fans, we should just want to succeed more than we want others to fail. And hopefully we get there. I don't know when, but anyway, Curtis saying, be well. Bills fans, sorry, Chiefs fans, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.